men and women of the Coopeldos Coffee Producers Cooperative would like to invite you to learn about our cooperative, the activities we carry out, and a little of our history, the achievements and the dreams that motivate us to continue believing in our collective work. We can be found in the mountain range of Tilaran and Abangares in a place known as El Dos. This is where our co-op was born over 30 years ago in May 1971 with 79 members. At present, our members amount to over 500 men and women. Our main activity is the collection, processing, and marketing of the coffee grown by our members in the Tilaran and Abangares mountain range at an altitude of between 2,625 and 4,265 feet. The installed capacity in our processing plant allows us to process 25,000 hundredweights of coffee annually. We have also set up 14 collection centers where coffee is received for processing. Quality and environment. In 1998, we were officially certified as ISO 9002 compliant, a measurement of industrial quality, the first Latin America coffee processing and marketing organization to get it. And in 2001, we were certified as compliant with Environmental Management Standard ISO 14001. Both certifications are proof of our commitment to processing quality and to environmental protection and sustainability in Coopeldos' area of influence.
O sea, yo como productor, Coopeldos para mí, los beneficios que ha traído es que los paga el café, digamos, a mejores precios, ¿verdad? Aún vea, si no existiera Coopeldos, tal vez no podíamos ni transportar el café a los beneficios, digamos, porque por medio de Coopeldos los caminos, digamos, entre todos estamos unidos y cooperamos entre todos y mantenemos los caminos también para poder llevar ese café a los beneficios, ¿verdad? Eso es muy importante, es una parte muy importante de Coopeldos hace, de tener organizadas las comunidades en eso, ¿verdad?
At Coopeldos, we have a credit department that is in charge of taking care of the members' needs by giving them loans for farming, housing, and other personal activities. At our 2 commercial stores, co-op members can buy farming materials and tools, as well as consumer goods at better prices, and also on credit. 7 people work in the stores. Organic coffee. We have an organic coffee project we started in 1996 that presently has over 40 participating coffee growers. This project currently spans over 35 hectares and is projected to grow by 7 to 10 hectares per year. Our goal is to provide support and the necessary assistance for increasing, with each harvest, the production of organic coffee, which now comes to an average of more than 500 bushels of coffee per year. The Forestry Project. The Forestry Project was launched in 1988, and since then, we have reforested over 500 hectares with trees that serve various uses: windbreakers, timber-yielding native species, citrus and other fruit trees, coffee, and many others. At the nursery, we produce 60,000 seedlings a year that members and anyone else in the region can buy at subsidized prices. Likewise, Coopeldos' social programs support the children of the members with school scholarships that allow them to continue with their studies up to university level. Coopeldos also concerns itself with the quality of education in its field of influence. It contributes directly to the purchase of computer equipment, the repair and maintenance of roads, and the repair and construction of school and healthcare infrastructure.
Cuando vino el programa de becas, fue una gran ayuda. En el caso mío, yo tengo un hijo que estudió en el colegio, en la universidad y con la ayuda de las becas. Y eso fue una gran ayuda porque económicamente pasamos una situación bastante mala y entonces con esa ayuda salimos adelante.
Fair Trade Market. For over 15 years, Coopeldos has marketed part of its crops in the fair trade system. The fair trade model is based on principles of worldwide solidarity, equity, quality, and justice, developed by the Fair Trade Labeling Organization, which strives to improve access to markets by small farmers from marginal developing areas in third world countries. Likewise, the co-op produces coffee that has been quality certified by Eurogap, which guarantees good agricultural practices, organic coffee, sustainable coffee, and high-grown coffee.
Para mí y mi familia, el mercado justo ha significado una constante mejora en nuestra calidad de vida, reflejado esto en los diferentes proyectos que hemos llevado a cabo, como las mejoras a nuestra vivienda, la adquisición de un medio de transporte y la constante y la perseverancia en la educación de nuestros hijos, tanto a nivel de primaria, a nivel de secundaria, como también esperaremos lograrlo a nivel superior. Agradecemos a todos los grupos que de una u otra forma nos han apoyado a nivel de nuestra organización Coopeldos para que estos precios de café se sigan manteniendo por toda una vida.
The coffee process. Coffee is sown in a seedbed, or a bundle of earth, set aside for protecting and taking care of the seedlings until they are large enough to be transferred to a plot destined for permanent planting. Once the plant reaches its adult or productive stage, it is harvested once a year between the months of September and February. The collected coffee beans are weighed at the farmstead at the end of each day and then taken by the plantation owner to the closest collection center. The member is issued a receipt that is later turned in at the cooperative's office. The farmer gets an advance at harvest time. Once the collection of coffee beans is completed in February, partial payments continue to be made until final settlement. The grains picked at the farmstead are taken to the collection centers, where they again are measured and checked to maintain strict quality control. Afterwards, the coffee is transported from the collection centers to the central processing plant. Wet processing. The coffee is transferred from the farms to the receiving station, and from there to the mill within 24 hours of its harvest to avoid fermentation. Once at the coffee mill, the fruit's volume is measured and its quality supervised. Then, it is taken to the water tanks and from there to a mechanical separating device to avoid the advance of debris. During the removal of the pulp, which is the next stage, the fruit is separated from its external layer or pulp by a friction mechanism. Not all the fruit is successfully depulped in this first step, so it is separated in screens to be depulped a second or third time if necessary. Mechanical removal. Once it is depulped, the fruit still conserves an insoluble substance known as mucilage that contains sugars and pectin substances and makes difficult the drying stage, which is why it becomes necessary to separate it from the bean by mechanical means or by natural fermentation. Washing the depulped coffee to initiate the drying stage. Recirculated water. The water is constantly recirculated under time control. Likewise, strict controls are in place to ensure that the quality of the product is not affected. Then, it is transferred to the treatment systems for its purification. Dry processing. After eliminating the superficial water during the draining process, the most difficult stage of drying begins, because the water must come out of the interior of the bean so that it can be stored without suffering physical damage or affecting the quality of the beverage. Sun drying. The coffee is spread out in large sun drying patios in thin layers and is stirred constantly to assure high quality and homogeneous drying of the beans. Water treatment system. All the mill waters must be treated in systems designed for this purpose, to assure their purity before being poured into the river. Use of lagoons. The water cleared of solid sediments is transferred to the lagoons and reactors where there are bacteria that filter and treat the mill water, in order to be able to pour it into the rivers within the limits established by the Health Ministry. The storage of the coffee. After coffee is dried for close to 21 hours, it is transported to the silos where it is stored. The silos can store up to 12,000 bushels. Coopeldos produces 2 brands of coffee for national consumption: Malacu, a light roast, and Tilawa, a dark roast, both of excellent quality. Coopeldos also exports coffee. Its 3 brands are Guacamayo Arenal Organic Coffee, La Colina High Grown Coffee, and HB Co Café, which is aimed at the fair trade market. Ecological Coffee Tour. This emerging process, the Ecological Coffee Tour, is an initiative that attempts to add value to the daily activities of coffee grower families and generate additional income for members. The goal is to facilitate access to the coffee production process, enabling national and foreign tourists to learn more about it. The tour will involve the participation of co-op members, that is, actual farmers, and employ their researches, such as traditional ox carts, ponds for tilapia fishing, the sale of traditional foods, horse riding, and visits to farmsteads and other facilities belonging to Coopeldos. Now, we invite you to savor a cup of our exquisite coffee.